Hi, everybody. When they first asked me to do Churchill Fest '09, I thought, how weird that they would ask me so late. But then I realized what was up. They didn't want me to feel like I really had to work during my own festival. So I appreciate that, but I really don't mind performing. Swine flu, anybody? Yeah, don't worry, it's not really swine flu. But I figured something out. If swine flu happens to come here, and it sees that I'm already drinking swine flu, right? He's covered. Okay, so here's some things I wish were true. I wish that the wearing of baseball caps backwards caused brain cancer. I wish that everybody lived in their cars. That way, no one would care about traffic jams. In fact, there wouldn't be traffic jams, they'd be neighborhoods. If you lived in your car, you'd be home by now. I wish that a lot of very famous bands like the Dave Matthews Band and like Fall Out Boy, Coheed and Cambria, I hear is one the kids like, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and a lot of other ones. I wish they would all play this giant concert inside a giant catapult. I wish that wolves could harmonize when they howl, so that being ripped to shreds wouldn't be quite so terrifying. I wish that all old ladies would be awarded bear skins to wear as an award for their severe debilitating osteoporosis. I wish that everybody would stop pretending to like paintings. I wish that America would turn off all the lights and take all their stuff to Canada so that everybody would go, wow, they left. And then they would be like, gee, maybe we were too hard on America. I wish there was a rule of eights in comedy, because that's all I had. For that, don't you turn off that light. Okay. So, like 3 years ago, never tell a stage manager what to do. About 3 years ago, my wife and I, we got very, very sad. Okay, we won't go into details, but we got very, very sad. There was medication involved and sadness. Okay, and so we decided we wanted to stop being sad. So we wanted a pet. So we bought a bird. We liked that. So then we bought another bird. And now we have a lot of birds. And they live in the living room, and we live in the bedroom. And that's the arrangement we like. We feed them, and we clean up all their poops, and we pay the rent, and we think that's fair. But the thing is, I truly, maybe I didn't think this was going to happen at first, but I truly love all 6 of my birds, like they're kids, you know? I love them. But I also very much love chicken, and I love turkey, and I've had some crispy duck in the past too, which does create a bit of a moral quandary, because I know that if I met a chicken and I looked it in the eye and I found that I felt the same way about that chicken that I feel about my birds, I perhaps wouldn't kill it and eat it. But apparently I don't mind if it's a chicken I've never met. So this past Christmas, my wife and I, we ate our Christmas turkey in front of our birds, which is a little weird, right? But we realized that a lot of people might look at that situation and think, you know, if your birds knew what you were doing, they might be a little disappointed, right? But then I had to look at it this way. I was like, listen, turkeys, they're a whole different breed. So you got to look at it like this. Like, if I walked into my apartment after a hard day's work, I opened the door, and there were my birds chewing on the carcass of a giant gorilla, I'd be like, that's awesome. I would say, way to go, birds. Good for you. You don't want to let a whole gorilla go to waste, for one. And I'm assuming they killed it themselves. That's impressive, because they're not that big. I might even bring a cookbook. So this is the benefit for swine flu. But I don't think swine flu needs any help. It's moving pretty quick. I actually live 4 blocks from that school. They shut down the Rogers Park today, and I am feeling a little warm. So we're gonna. The next one's a benefit against swine flu. We can do that. There's one more thing that I wish was true, and I wish that all our guidance counselors in high school could have gotten better jobs, because then I could actually value the advice they gave me in the future. Right? I've had people tell me that I would have made an excellent guidance counselor. I'd be that cool guidance counselor, the English teacher that wants everybody to know everything's cool. You know, the English teacher everybody thinks they can get weed from, but I don't know where to get the weed. You know, I don't smoke anything. Certainly not in that van by my shed that they found that girl's sweater nearby. Certainly not there. You know, I'd be the same teacher. I'd be the same English teacher. You know, guidance counselor who would show up to school every day with a nice sweater tied around his neck. You know. Every day the sweater, even though it's not the 80s anymore, I'd have the sweater tied around my neck. And then one day I would come to school with the sweater tied around my neck, but I wouldn't be wearing any shirt. And they'd say, oh, Mr. Churchill's had a little episode. Here's your new guidance counselor. And then I'd come back 6 months later, and I'd be stronger and braver, and I'd be more wise, and I'd be able to share my experience with the kids, give them all kinds of great advice. Like, you know, never trust somebody who whistles really well. They've had way too much time practicing being nonchalant. If somebody asks you what something looks like and you don't know, you just say, looks like a spaceship. They don't know. They never saw one. But if they say they did see a spaceship, you say, not that one. So don't be so egocentric, right? And also, a kid comes up to you and he says, you know, I'm not able to write this poem that they're asking me to write. I'm like, relax. You know, poetry is just like regular talking, except it's for jerks. And then maybe they take me away again. But this is good old-fashioned anthrax. I miss anthrax. So this is the love song I would then write. And that's my lady. Hold on, I need one more taste of the old juice. Fever's getting higher. All right. When you smile, I got sugar in my spine. But when you cry, the mayor handed me a fine. And when you laugh, the west wind blew my hair. But when you left me, there was no proof I had been there. Because you tricked me, and now I have got anthrax shoes. You tricked me, and now I've got the walking blues. You tricked me, and now I have got anthrax shoes. You tricked me, and now I have got anthrax shoes. It's the doo-doo-doo part. Da-da-da-doo-doo-doo-doo. See, I lost the words. It's a da-da-da part. Do-do-do, da-da-da-da-da. Fucked up. It's just doo-doo, da-da-da. Anyway, when I walk, yeah, like people call the CIA. when I talk, they are all taping what I say. And when I listen, they are all talking about me. And the lesson I've learned, even though we're not together, well, I cannot be free. Because you tricked me, and now I've got to walk thrash shoes. You tricked me, and now I've got to walk in blues. You tricked me, and now I have got anthrax shoes. You tricked me, and now I have got anthrax, 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 anthrax shoes. One last thing. They do say, scientists say without a doubt, they have proven in their own mathematical way that there absolutely are, without any theories, without any, postulated